All right, well, let's try recording this video again. I think this is the third attempt I've made, so hopefully this one will process and I'll get it to you guys right away. So we are in our week 5 overview, which is module 2. So I'm going to do touch on what we're doing this week. You guys are going to see week 5. So in the week 5, I'm going to go over some of this quickly because some of the stuff is are things you already have access to. The unit overview page, don't forget to check that for, just an orientation of where we are and what direction we're going for the week. This Writing Project 1 official assignment, same link I gave you guys in the previous unit. I made a course link here so you wouldn't have to go back and dig through the folders. So it's always a good idea to reread your prompt and look and just have access to the resources. Now this one is half of a repost. I'm posting both stories that are the student example essays. So one of them you've already seen, the 8-cow bracelet. And then the second one is Driving Away. And so this one I posted here for you, even though it's in your critical thinking and reading assignment this week. So just so you can have a reference and not have to reopen that assignment each time you want to take a peek at it, okay? So both of those stories are here in one place. Those are your samples. So those are some good things to refer to while you're working on your draft. Now, the critical thinking and reading will be for the story Driving Away, the one I just showed you. So when you start that assignment, it will pop up and you will have the guiding questions. Remember, some of those are just writing in the text box and others ask you to actually highlight on the page and annotate. So if you have any issues with that part of the process, please shoot me an email and let me know. And once you've annotated that essay, you'll have you'll have two examples that you're very familiar with. So I hope that will help you with your drafting. I've also provided a presentation. It's a walkthrough presentation, and I'm going to show you where it is. This one's in Canva. I'm trying to move some of my content to Canva. So you can click this for a larger screen, and the navigation is down here. And this assignment is going to kind of help you check your topics and make sure you have a topic that's appropriate for this assignment. And also, it will give you some guidance for how to get started on your draft. Okay, so you do have that. And don't forget, I'm putting these check your knowledge questions. There may be one of these on the quiz, so you might want to check that out. And that leads me to the next item. The quiz will be over this presentation. So open book, open note. You can have this presentation open while you're taking the quiz. That is allowed. And the next item are resources. Now, quick note about this. These are supplemental resources to help you with different parts of drafting and or revising. So you might use some of this the first go around. I might recommend the narrative structure infographic here to help you kind of map out your ideas. But I've also put, depending on how far you get in your drafting, some of this you may want to wait and do in revising. And so you'll have access to this through the whole process. Notice I've given you these bite-sized videos on specific topics. So if you're not sure about conflict, if you're having trouble identifying a conflict to build your story around, this would be a good one. If you want to understand what it means to show, not tell, this guy has some great examples. So these are supplemental to just, if you have an area you want to work on, I want to add descriptive details in my narrative, got a video for that. If you want to build a scene but you don't know how to do dialogue, there's a little video on this and one on figurative language. So again, you are not required to look through all these, but they are here for you. There's also a web handout on helping you with an introduction. So I've put these resources together and I may add to it. I'll let you know in announcements when I do add something, but just try to find some things that I think will help you throughout your drafting process. Okay. Now, I also have a tutorial for MLA format. When you do submit your first draft, because that's what we're doing this week, is we're focusing on our draft, you will submit it, and I ask students to submit an MLA format. So I have a video on this. I also have a web resource and example down here if you want to pop that open and just see what it looks like. You can also Google there's a million examples out there. Just make sure you're looking up the most recent edition, which is the 9th edition. And the last item is kind of the big ticket item, so to speak. This is where you're going to submit your first draft. So when you click on this, don't get overwhelmed, because this really is an assignment that has 2 parts to it. But we're not doing both parts in 1 week. So let me click open the instruction. There we go. So when you see this, you're going to notice that this is a Blackboard assignment link. And you're going to see 1, and this is the one you need to focus on, submitting your first draft. Okay, so all the instructions are there for how to do that. I even found a little demo video if you need a little tutorial there. Okay, so that's all you need to worry about this week. But if you scroll down, you're going to know, because you have to scroll down to submit your paper, there is a part 2, but we're going to do that in the next unit. Okay, so I put a note there to make sure you saw it, that's what we're going to do. And then when you get down here, that's where you submit your paper. So make sure you submit it in the right format. Follow all of my guidelines, because I do consider that in my evaluation. So remember that this is going to be the submission that you submit to me and 2 of your peers who will be in your group when we do our peer review the following week. So again, just worry about the first part, getting your draft submitted, and then in the next unit we'll worry about the peer reviewing. And I'll give you a lot of guidance and information on that part of the process. Okay, well, I will cut this off for now, but if you have any questions, please reach out. Have a great week. Happy drafting.